Hi there, welcome to the Morning Swim Show for Wednesday, March 14th, 2012. I'm your host, Peter Busch. Tiffany Elias is joining us in the studio today. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Peter.
We're breaking down the Women's Division I NCAA Swimming and Diving Championships, which start tomorrow in Auburn. Tiffany, the women have had some of the closest meets ever in the past few years. Really, really exciting, coming down to the last relay kind of stuff. But Cal, I think, is threatening to create a little dynasty, which isn't even going to be close.
It's been really close this year. I think this year it's going to be even more exciting than last year. Cal was kind of questionable last year. They weren't sure if they had it throughout the course of the meet. They've been trying to set the precedent again this year that they're going to be the team on top. But Georgia has so much depth that I think they're really going to challenge Cal this year, but it's really going to be between those two teams.
If Georgia can pull this off without Allison Schmidt taking a year off to train for the Olympics, it will be one of Jack Barrowley's best coaching performances ever. And I think it'll be because he just created this great team chemistry and said, you know what, we're not going to let losing probably our best swimmer keep us down.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is Allison Schmidt is such a heavy hitter, but they had so many people underneath them that trickled through the bottom top eight and the consolation that they have enough to sustain Allison Schmidt's absence. I think it's going to be huge, also losing Morgan Scroggie.
Yeah.
But they still have Megan Romano stepping up, and they also have a few freshmen that are in the works that I think are going to make some big statements leading the way.
Coming back to Cal, though, I think they're the team to beat, and Swimming World in their issue, the magazine issue this month, picks Cal and Terry McKeever to win. I think it'll be her third championship in 4 or 5 years. And they've got something amazing going on at Cal right now. And a lot of the swimmers that haven't necessarily lived up to expectations the past couple of years are really starting to come through, like Caitlin Leverance. And she's going to be a part of what I think are the story of the meet, and those are epic IM races.
The IM are by far the races that I'm looking forward to most this weekend. The 200 IM I think is going to be a really close call between Leverance and Katinka. I think it's going to be them two at the top. But what's interesting is Beisel was in the 500 freestyle last year. She's stepping over to the 2 IM this year, so I'm not sure that that's going to be her race this weekend.
She doesn't have the speed to keep up with them, but that 400 IM between Elizabeth Beisel, Katinka Hazu, and Caitlin Leverance, you're talking about three girls who I think are easily going to break 4 minutes. I mean, they're probably going to push each other to 3:57, 3:56.
Well, I think they've already been under 4. They've already been under 4 so far this year, so that's gonna be the race. I think Beisel's gonna be out really fast that front half. I think Caitlin's gonna try to hang on in the breaststroke, but I think Katinka has the experience. They all have the experience, obviously, but it's gonna be a close one. I can't say I have a prediction for that one.
If either one of those ladies wins both IMs, I think it sets them up as the best chance to win swimmer of the meet. Caitlin Leverance especially, because I think she's a lock to win the 200 breaststroke. I think Beisel's a lock to win the 200 backstroke, and I think Katinka's a lock to win the 200 fly. So those are the two events where they'll all kind of go head-to-head, and whoever gets the best of the IMs, I think it's going to be your swimmer of the meet.
Yeah, I actually don't think the same person will win both IM events. I feel confident making that prediction, but as far as who's going to be on top of the 400 IM, it's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be the same person for the 2 IM and 4 IM.
Ariana Vanderpool-Wallace won the 50 and 100 free last year. She's heavily favored to do so again this year. If she does, I think that puts her in the conversation as best sprinter in college history, along with probably behind Carolyn Joyce, but pretty darn close.
And I think she's well deserving of that title. She's knocking on the doorsteps of, I think, Laura Jackson's NCAA record or meet record. So if she walks away with both of those this weekend, which I'm pretty sure she is, then she deserves to be right up there in the top of the rankings.
All right, the 100 breaststroke is fascinating to me because it's a story of just how much recruiting can miss or how much people can really come into their own when they get to college. You've got Bria Larson, this girl from Texas A&M, who until her freshman year of college, no one knew anything about. They probably didn't even know how to pronounce her name. Now she's going 57 and challenging the American record. And you've got Casey Carlson, who was as blue chip as recruits get coming out of high school. I mean, she was a bronze medalist in the World Championships before she even stepped on USC's campus. They're the 1-2 in the 100 breaststroke, it looks like. But Bria Larson, it's amazing to say, is heavily favored.
Well, it's unbelievable because last year, like you said, she was this name out of nowhere, a freshman who came in to be at the top of the podium in both the 100 and 200 breaststroke. This year, it's her race to lose in the 100 breaststroke, but Caitlin Leverance is going to be right up there in the 200. So I think Bria Larson, no doubt about it, she's going to get this 100 breaststroke. It's just a matter of she can do it in record time. And the 200 breaststroke, I think, is going to be great to test where she is as a sophomore with a little bit more experience under her belt and challenge a veteran.
I've been talking to people who think that Bria Larson has Olympic potential this year, that she's that good, not just in short course, but she could make the team. I think Caitlin Leverance is absolutely an Olympic contender. I mean, she's peaking at the right time, almost made the 2008 team. She's looking good for both the IMs and the 200 breaststroke for this year. Very competitive, but certainly swimming fast at the right time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Leverance this year because last year I feel like she just fell short of where she wanted to be. I think it was her 200 breaststroke that she was, I think, in 5th place at the 150 and started to make her move and just fell short at the very end. And she really, I think, was deserving of that win and didn't get it. So I think she's going to be one of our swimmers who's going to come back with a fighting vengeance. So that's dangerous when you have someone as powerful as her coming back with something to prove.
It's really remarkable going through the psych sheet how many events there's the person who's the top seed, how much they are ahead of the second seed. I mean, even just the 100 backstroke, Cindy Tran is like a full second ahead of somebody else, second place qualifier, and she's at 50.6, and it brings up the question, can she challenge Natalie Coughlin's American record of 49.9, which most people considered untouchable for a long time?
Well, Cindy Tran's kind of a wild card. Last year, we didn't expect, I think, as much of her coming as a freshman. I think all the focus wasn't on Cindy. So this year's going to be a little bit different because now people are aware of what she can do. She's coming back as a top seed. And what's also interesting is she's going to take on the 100 butterfly as well, which last year she didn't do. And this year she's coming into the 100 fly as already top 8. So it's now that she's going to have experience under her belt, I think she's going to come close to that record. And if she is to get that, then she's definitely going to be someone to watch out for.
If she's going to get it, my guess is she will get it the first night leading off the 400 medley relay. There's just something about the energy of that leading off that relay usually brings out the best in the 100 backstrokers. So my prediction is if Cal wins this meet, as I believe they will, that it sets them up for a dynasty run because they've got recruiting class after great recruiting class coming in. A lot of young stars still. I mean, Leif Jensen is one of the big stars right now, and she's a senior. She's going to help out a ton in the 50 and 100 and on the relays. But Cal's strength is their underclassmen and the future. And some people believe Missy Franklin, that's where she wants to go to school. We'll find out next year. But I think they're very close to setting up a dynasty run here.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. I think Georgia has to really step up their recruiting and the young kids since they have they're really dominated right now by their juniors and seniors. But they still have some great freshmen coming up. Amber McDermott, who's going to be your top seed in the 500 freestyle. They also have Catherine Breed, who's coming back, or she's going to be a freshman, and she's going to be multiple finals this year. So they're building up that freestyle, but they need to have enough versatility to cover all the events, which I think Cal is doing.
Georgia's consistency has been remarkable. Jason Marsteller made a great point in the magazine about how Georgia has finished first or second. I think it was 10 of the last 13 years. I mean, that's unbelievable. But, you know, the problem is when you're not winning, people don't necessarily remember you as as being an elite team. So I think they're in the conversation again, and they always will be. Jack Barrowley does an amazing job, but you got to win.
It's their depth versus having superstars. When they had Allison Schmidt, they had a superstar in all of those events, but then they also had a few beneath her. I think right now Cal is creating a team of superstars, and that's what's going to help them create that dynasty. So it's going to be a fun one to watch.
All right. Well, we are going to have race day coverage here in the studio Thursday, Friday, Saturday, after prelims and finals, after every single, breaking down every event, who's winning, who's losing. It's going to be a lot of fun here in the studio. Tiffany will be joining us.
I will.
And as will Jeff Cummings. So hopefully you can join us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday after each prelims and finals of the Women's NCAA Championships. I'm Peter Busch. Thanks for watching.